presidential elections and the gains that were made by my party, the National Democratic Congress, in the parliamentary elections naturally and justifiably resulted in great joy and celebration across our country, Ghana. But celebrations, no matter how justified and how well earned, must be supplanted by discernment, sobriety, and deeper insights into why we received this kind of mandate in the first place. By voting as you did on December 7th, the Ghanaian people conveyed a powerful message, yet often overlooked by us politicians. This message was powerfully emphasized by a giant of American political history, President Ronald Reagan, when he declared at his inauguration some 40 years ago that governments have no power except that granted by the people. While Ghanaians take great pride in our thriving democracy, they are deeply dissatisfied with the quality of governance over the years and have openly voiced that dissatisfaction through the decisive actions that they undertake at the elections. Our people also understand that democracy is not just a token adorned with periodic elections followed by pomp and pageantry with the establishment of a new government. They expect that if democracy is celebrated as a superior means of governance, then its outcomes must be more tangible and benefit them in their individual lives. Any honest introspection and reflection on the pulse of our nation would reveal that many within our population do not feel that they have benefited from or partaking in this democratic dividend. Where people buffeted by severe economic crisis and hardships, and in the last few years we have lurched from crisis to crisis. But there is hope on the horizon. Today should mark the beginning of a new opportunity, an opportunity for us to make a difference in our governance and our economic management. We shall reset our dear nation, Ghana. To the millions of my fellow countrymen and women,
President John Dramani Mahama, an excerpt of his address yesterday. He says that there is hope on the horizon. Very high expectations. Ghanaians. My ways to be seen. The expectation is that many of these expectations, which especially are in line or maybe in line with the many promises made, should be met. Ibrahim Alassan, Imanogbiku, good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning, Adede. We are well by the grace.
I am also well. Ibrahim?
Morning, Adede. We're good. I hope you're good too.
I'm good. I saw your post yesterday.
Right. Yes. Yesterday was quite interesting, and I'm talking about the inauguration.
Yes.
Yes, I was just taking a look at the love received by the Burkinabe military leader. Yeah. And I'm asking myself whether it's just that we love military leaders or there's a special case, right? You know, there's so much that has been said about him, not just him, I think the Guinean military leader.
And the Malian.
Yes, and the Malian military leader.
Guinea, they have a military leader?
Yeah, they do.
It's Mali, it's not Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger. There's Guinea too?
Yeah, one of the Guineas.
I think there was
there's one. Okay.
Yeah, one of the Guineas.
What I recall on my fingertips is Niger, Burkina Faso, and then Mali.
Guinea. I remember that tall guy. They have
one came in at the time. I think in 2020. I don't think he handed over power. He met Rawlings before.
Exactly. And of course the thing about his sidearm or the firearm or side piece, as they put it,
got a lot of attention now.
Right? And people are looking at it from a perspective that
Security.
that's a direct danger to the president, our president, right? I think I disagree. The image we saw there is a definition of ultimate trust, right? The gentleman had no business coming here if he didn't trust that we will receive him. There were under ECOWAS sanctions. At the point they had threatened to even pull out.
I mean, that threat still holds. Actually, they are to exit by 29th of January. But then ECOWAS has, they've agreed to a 6-month grace period within which, so that would be in July,
Exactly.
and within which ECOWAS is expecting to make some, last overtures to have them rescind their decision.
Great. And so for him to move from his country, and we've had checkered history for the past 4 years at least, with what the president said in America about the Burkinabes and their links and ties to Russia and the Wagner Group, as they put it.
Yeah.
For him to come is telling.
Yeah.
For us to even agree to receive him is equally telling. And so, yes, I see it from that other angle about the ultimate trust. Because, and you can also not say that our security people were not prepared. You see, it's not easy for you to reach your sidearm and then be able to activate it. Everything will show that this is your intention.
Yes.
And you could be neutralized. But the point I'm making is that we are not even there yet. See, I see a trust. I see a trust. And hopefully, it's part of the reasons why they might rescind their decision of leaving ECOWAS.
Yeah. And I think that, look, as a country, we must be very proud that, that inauguration saw, I think I've even lost track of the many leaders that were present.
Yeah.
Almost 18 heads of state.
And I think,
envoys, if you add everything, Charlie.
and the decision of John Mahama to go to the various countries and personally invite them to his inauguration was a good, it was a masterstroke.
Yeah.
And this can only be on the benefit of hindsight, because he's been here before.
Exactly.
And usually you are done with the inauguration and you go round and then you do the introductions and stuff like that. But this one, when you go, you introduce yourself and then you invite them.
Yeah.
Now, it's more like you have put a face to it.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Paul Kagame here.
Yeah.
You had the presidents of Botswana here. There was Gambia.
Yeah.
The Senegal was here.
Yeah.
Burkina Faso. Mali sent, I think their vice president also.
Yeah.
And the list is endless. I mean, we had former South African President Jacob Zuma
Coming.
also come.
Two former Nigerian heads of
Yes,
state,
including
Goodluck
the
and
sitting.
Obasanjo.
Yeah.
The sitting was also here. So the whole of Nigeria was here actually.
Look,
There are celebrities. And
I think that as a country, we should pat ourselves on the back. I don't know. It just sincerely feels like a breath of fresh air. And, well, I think most often it comes with new administrations. And the expectation is that you keep the momentum.
I agree. Briefly, before Biko comes in, my disappointment is that Paul Kagame didn't get to speak, right?
Yeah.
And I was discussing this with somebody, the person, okay, they could have had a lecture somewhere for him to speak at before 11. But I agree, myself, I was surprised. So he didn't go to, Muhammad didn't go to Rwanda. So yes, the sub-region he visited.
Yes.
And of course, I agree totally that that's on the back of a hindsight, knowing very well that when you make it personal. And again, it's also about what you want to achieve with your
Absolutely.
time. Don't forget he was ECOWAS leader, chairman of the ECOWAS at the point before he exited power. In fact, when he exited power, he was actively involved in an ECOWAS rule. And then, I don't know whether because of that, they ended up giving the ECOWAS chairmanship to President Akufo-Addo. President Akufo-Addo served at the point as ECOWAS chairman, right? And we pride ourselves as the beacon of democracy. We told that, you mentioned Botswana, the Botswana president was here. That democracy has been the longest enduring democracy.
Yes.
Ours were truncated at a point. Years from day one, there's never been any truncation. Demonstrable. So for the president, a certain president of that country to show up, and I've seen the pictures that he himself has shared.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Over 50 pictures of the ceremony. It tells you one thing. President Mahama will have goodwill, just as Akufo-Addo did. How he decides to hold on to that goodwill, reinforce it, and use it for the benefit of his own administration and for the benefit of the country is another thing. Tinubu, many have wondered, why is Tinubu the special guest of honor? You see, a lot goes into this selection. The relationship between Ghana and Nigeria is a beautiful one. We mostly, right, have very little to offer Nigeria. I'm being honest, I'm being blunt with you. They, on the other hand, they have everything to offer us. You remember Kufo?
Yeah.
And Sahara Energy and what have you. you always will have to plug into.
I always bring back the Peugeot vehicles
Yes,
that were given to the police by
because they were being assembled there in Nigeria. And so it's a strategy to start on a very good note with Nigeria. And I think it's good. You heard Tinubu say that there's no way Nigeria will harm any Ghanaian, right? So, all in all, I think it was good. It's good that Mahama took the initiative to extend invitations to the people himself. Yeah. Usually, you can either decide to leave it to the outgoing administration and the state protocol to extend those invitations. Of course, that you have personally signed, but going to them directly shows respect. The president's speech, right? I think it's original. It's not controversial. So it
is quite reconciliatory.
Yes. Going back to remind us of his time with President Akufo-Addo, right? And the fact that Akufo-Addo is the only one who calls him Johnny, right? And then also giving Bawumia his flowers for his only concession, right?
Yeah.
Yes. It marks of a president who has had a second term. This is like a 2016 inaugural address speech. And I said this in the newsroom yesterday when I was in a conversation with Benis Abubedu, that I felt this is Mohammed's second term, directly, untruncated. And he's signaling that, hey, bygones are bygones. We might have said many things to each other. We might have contested fiercely, because he described Akufo-Addo as a worthy opponent, right? But here we are. Now we have a country to run. Let's all focus. Put our shoulders to the wheel and then run the country.
For me, interestingly, Bawumia's demeanor at the inauguration, his decision to even bow to John. I mean, these are things that signify a united country. It was a hot, keenly contested election, but nonetheless, everybody has accepted who the victor is. That is one. Now, two, back to the applause that the Burkinabe head of state received. It goes beyond just us and our us liking military or men in uniform. I think there is a bigger mission that he is on, that a lot of us on the continent identify with, which is the fight against neocolonialism. See, give it or take it, especially with Francophone West Africa. Even though for us, the Anglophones, we seem to have weaned ourselves off the colonial masters. For them, it is not the same. In fact, until recently, their reserves, they had a certain quota that they ought to save with the French.
Yeah.
And there were so many other things. So for them, it is important that these steps are taken. Democracy is not, it's a process, it's not an event. So currently, it's just like Ghana, right? 92, Rawlings, he was loved across West Africa, across the continent. People loved him, even though he was the military head of state. But it was a process. At the point, he became a civilian leader. But I'm saying that if those who are democratically elected don't warm up to military leaders on our continent, then it will be difficult to convince these same people to hand over power that one, it makes sense. Back to the side arm. Look, this is a gentleman who has had not less than 10 assassination attempts in the last 8 months. You need to be sure that you will be willing to grant him that. Their tanks arrived in Ghana 5 days before the inauguration. The tank didn't come by air, they came by road. So obviously, for him to also have, like Abi said, to have that level of trust in our security arrangement, to know that even though the West may be against me, Ghana will provide me that safety.
Exactly.
I mean, it's instructive.
And you know, he coming, and also Mali sending their representative and Niger as well, you know, especially for him to come in person. The timing is also very interesting, because there's a time where they formed their own group, the AES, the Alliance of Sahel States. They have formed that, and they are working keenly to exit ECOWAS. And it doesn't look like, you know, they are listening to anybody. And so for them to have come for this ceremony, many are now asking whether, you know, it's a good sign, and what perhaps a role John Mahama can play in having these countries perhaps, you know, reconsider their decision. At this point in time, I don't think there's any turning back with regard to their alliance they have formed.
No, they could.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then still remaining with
Yes. So
ECOWAS.
what I see is that if anything good is going to happen at all, the alliance will remain, but then they may not exit ECOWAS. But let's see how it goes, because 29th is
definitely.
when they are supposed to leave.
Most definitely. We had our own Ghana, Guinea, Mali.
Yeah.
And we still
There was a song,
references. Yeah, Ghana, Guinea, Mali. Yes. So it's normal. I like functional people media, right? They are all in the same difficulties together, all right? And it brought back the memories of Charles Taylor and former President Kufuor. The International Court of Criminal Justice had declared Charles Taylor wanted. Charles Taylor came to Ghana and they wanted to trigger it because Ghana is a party to the charter. Kufuor weighed the options and said, no, I gave the gentleman my word that he will be safe here. And so he said no. In the end, it was when he got to Nigeria that they gave him out. And up until now, I'm not sure Tasdela and his family have forgiven the Nigerian administration for what it did.
Talking about Nigeria, and I'm happy that for nothing at all, some may consider what I'm about to say as trivia, but for the Burkinabe head of state to come face to face with Tinubu.
Yes.
Because mind you, the truth is that our own, the two giants of West Africa didn't handle the issue well. Ghana, Nigeria. First of all, Ghana with the, like you mentioned, the Wagner comment by our president. Also, at the time, Tinubu's
he was willing to send in the military.
Yeah, that it was standby force and all that. It also became topical at a point.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that for nothing at all, he has come to, because I don't think that after that incident they've come face to face. So let's see how they will employ diplomacy to resolve the issues there.
It's all about approach. It's all about approach when it comes to some of these things. Let's find out what the dailies are reporting this morning.
We are waiting. Now that the president has been sworn in, the vice president has equally been sworn in.
Yes.
We are waiting for the ministerial list. Time no day like that.
Well, yeah, I think one of the things, for his trip around Africa, when President Akufo-Addo asked him, he said, "What? You've been traveling all over," and then he says, "Well, he wants to settle in after the 7th. So that's after 7th. He's not now going around meeting people. So, well, inauguration is out of the way.
Yeah.
Now the real job begins.
For President Mohammed's own interest, this has to be done quickly because the more people lobby, the more it destabilizes your base.
See, I'm sure by now the last time we checked, we told that he has 63. The challenge was doing that with the 3. But I'm sure now he's found a way with his kitchen cabinet announcement and a few other portfolios that he has announced. I'm sure he's been able to take away the 3. What probably the outgoing president today has been traveling all over. I'm supposed to still be the president. That's all.
It's interesting. And then also the issue of the vice president. I have been grinning from ear to ear, smiling ear to ear, because it's a very proud moment, and it's not just the fact that it is Nana Jane. It's a journey she has been on, and this is one of her many firsts. And for me, I don't think that we have celebrated it enough. We just more like we mention it and then it's gone, but. We underestimate the power of, how there is a word for it, role modeling, but there's another word for it. But there is great power in seeing someone like you occupy a very high office. We may not be able to quantify the many women who would see this and know the possibility that there is in them attaining that office. And so congratulations to the NDC for deciding to choose her as a vice president, as a running mate.
Sticking
with her in the second
because
run.
after the 2020 elections.
Yes, and we hope that we'll feel her impact. We'll feel her impact. That is what we asked for. And then I must say that she looked really amazing on the day as well. She looked very regal in her kente outfit.
For a country that just a few years ago were singing "Send Your Girl Child to School," I think this is a big achievement that should be celebrated. Remember, first Vice Chancellor. Now we have a few of them. So it means that once one is able to break the barrier, others will follow. And we hope that it's not going to end at the vice presidency level. At the point we are going to have a female leading all of us. I mean,
well,
it's about competence. Once the person is competent.
Absolutely.
After the 2020 elections, I've of course, and on this platform and many platforms as well, who've had people question as whether she added anything to the ticket of the NDC, and the fact that Central Region did not vote for the NDC presidentially, but parliamentary-wise they did. And I remember we saying that, see, if there's any region usually tied to their son or their daughter, it's the Central Region.
Of course.
Atanos lost his own region on 3 separate occasions, until finally the region said, we're voting for you. Meaning the region didn't vote for him just because
he's from there.
He's their son. Now, I said that it was always going to be difficult for John Dramani Mahama to change Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. The reason is simple. When nobody expected the NDC to win, because usually we are used to the 2 terms, right? Nobody expected the NDC to win. John Dramani Mahama went for a female running mate. Now, with everybody going back to the book runners and saying that the cycle, Chatinato, right? And yes, Apeke. For you to say that I'm dropping the woman, in fact, the words you need to offer explanation will be much, much more than any words you need to do any other thing. Now, she comes in and then she wins. I have said on countless occasions that yes, there are many people who are saying that, oh yes, after Mahama is Prof. From what we are privy to, both of them are coming and leaving. Now, they have a legacy to leave behind. If for nothing at all, like now he's saying, I read a piece from a gentleman who says he has 3 daughters, right? And he's raising them. And his work has just been made easier. With the ascension of Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman to the throne as a very first woman vice president. And they've even just coined, I think, abbreviation MVP, Madam Vice President. I didn't even turn my mind there, and that's the ultimate MVP. Now, with that out of the way, I've seen many women groups, and of course, we've engaged some of them here, and these are questions that I've put across to them. Because of how polarized our political atmosphere is, they all play the safe. But you see, in the US, even though on 2 attempts they have failed, they didn't play safe. It's a woman, go for her. Including her old school. Okay. Now it's a proud moment. When they raise teenagers, where are you?
When they really did it.
You see, hopefully we are all learning lessons. See, put it in a word for somebody because you believe that whatever the person stands for, wherever the person is from, the minority group, even though women are not in the minority, but they are marginalized and sideline group, we need that extra voice. Say it. It's an answer the NPP never found. Probably the NPP felt it's not a question that will be an overriding question to determine the outcome of the elections. And even as we sit here, we cannot say that the NPP lost just because they didn't choose a woman. We cannot say that. But you see, anything at all that comes with some level of positivity is good politically.
All right, let's go to what the papers are reporting this morning. I'll start off with the Daily Graphic newspaper. The front page, Mahama takes office, and it has John Dramani Mahama with the, how do you call that? Is it the staff?
Yes, the staff.
The staff in his hand.
The sword.
Is it pure gold?
Somebody has the same question. I doubt. We always good like that.
Oh, no. This is the highest office. If
we didn't manage to run the country. I mean, it could be staff. Staff can be made of any other thing.
I get it, but if it's pure gold,
it depends
no big
on
deal.
how long it's been around.
Yeah.
If at the time it was done, we could afford to do it.
Yeah, that's true. But I said to after the presidential seat, we painted it right. It's not good, right?
Doesn't that thing look like wood to you?
It does.
It's not metal.
Yeah.
It's metal, they can carry it.
Yeah.
It's wood.
Yeah.
It's
And then the golden paint.
It's carved.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And people are very mean, talking about chair and everything. People.
The president, that is one president. You see, it will take a while. You see, just as it took a while for us to get used to not saying President John Dramani Mahama or President Mahama, it took a while for us to also just say that former president Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Okay, so let's determine that here. How are we going to refer to him in our script? So
it's former president.
Former President Nana.
No, I call him former President Akufo-Addo.
Former President Akufo-Addo.
President Akufo.
It was former President Akufo-Addo.
I think mostly we refer to him as
President Akufo-Addo.
President Akufo-Addo.
So former President
Nana
Akufo-Addo.
Akufo-Addo.
Yeah.
It is
the
when,
Nana administration.
It is when the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration.
Okay.
So it was when the stories came from the presidency, when he writes, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Yeah.
That's a mouthful.
Or sometimes when you want to just
Give him
emphasize the name, like Kenofriata.
Yeah.
Kenneth.
Yeah, Kenneth.
That's sometimes, you know, that kind of thing. But most of things.
But there's one adversary of the former president who will mention every name, including the William. You know him, Justice F.Y. Pega.
Yeah, when he wants to take a dig at the then the candidate Akufo-Addo.
So it means now it's safe to say the JJ administration, John and Jane.
Yeah, that's
I saw I think a station captioned it Mahama Jane administration. I don't think it's Mahama Jane. It was Mahama Uswajiman.
It should be Mahama Nana, simple. If you want the simplest way, Mahama Nana administration.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Or John and Jane administration.
Yes. But finally on the vice president, I think for the first time, at least, she has no reason not to perform. Some ministries have been assigned to her. Health, education, gender, women and children affairs, right?
Yes.
And this announcement was made publicly by President John Dramani Mahama. And so therefore, if we have nothing to measure her with at all, these three portfolios.
So the driver made excuse won't be tolerated this time around.
Yeah.
Driver Susuko.
But I'm so happy. Look, first Chief Justice Georgina Wood. We've had two.
Yes.
We've had Sophia. We've had the current one.
Yeah.
What it means is that obviously, just like the vice chancellors, now we have a lot of them female. What it means is that soon, even with the MPP, we are going to have a female running on that ticket.
On a lighter note, you know, of course, the oath was administered by a Wiggy old girl.
To a Wiggy.
Yeah, but I said there's a difference between the legal English and then the Nana is literature English. Yeah, so yeah.
What's the difference?
Oh, how the rendition she gave of the words she was given.
You should give a rendition. It wasn't a repetition.
That's the point. You see, when you are repeating.
But the point is that she puts life into the words.
Exactly what somebody told me at an racing ground. And it was markedly different.
Yes. So
the legal English is not from there.
She embodied the words
exactly.
as compared to just reciting them. A lot of the times we get that.
Yeah.
Even with, delivering a script as journalists.
Yeah.
There are many times people just read without, communicating. The script. Yeah.
That's true.
But John was emotional. The president was emotional. I mean,
no, but you're allowed. See, it's just you in the US.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Obama.
You see,
I think that is because if you are Ted Mahama, you wouldn't feel it as much as John.
Yeah.
Because John is very personal.
Yeah.
On
But
first,
you could have said Johnny too.
he's not.
No. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
Wait, it was very uncharacteristic of the president that when the president, it was uncharacteristic of the former president when the president.
Yes.
Oh God, how these people have entertained.
Yeah.
Theirs is a very unique one.
Very.
One succeeded and then became a predecessor.
Yeah.
Now the predecessor has come to
Just like
succeed the
investor
successor.
accommodation.
Can you imagine?
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So the former president, when the president was talking about him,
Yes.
and how, you know, they all entered parliament.
Yeah.
You know, he had grey and he still had his baldy.
Yeah.
And had his, you know, round glasses. I thought he could part with a smile.
Yeah.
But he had a very, you know, very straight look.
Yeah.
And I felt it was uncharacteristic of him.
Yeah. It was Bamia that clapped when he got his flowers.
Yes,
he was clapping and smiling.
you know, sometimes you're looking, but you're not hearing.
Yeah, that's
So maybe,
true. It's possible.
Yes, maybe he was looking, but he wasn't hearing. Because even in Parliament, when Amakofi Boa, you know, was making his pronouncement, you saw the
he was
president,
smiling
his,
too.
Yes, those he would smile to, and those he was he maintained a straight face. You could tell. So I think he perhaps was not hearing what Mr. Mahama was saying.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
President Mahama.
Yeah, President Mahama was saying.
Yeah.
And then, well, it is what it is. All right.
Most definitely.
Let me finish. What is it?
Oh,
Go ahead.
finish.
Go ahead.
It has nothing to do with yesterday's ceremony,
Okay.
but I find it hard to believe that unidentified men. If you've been to Yoko before, you know the process.
Yes.
That unidentified
the
men
bus.
can go and destroy
and
the
pull
statue.
down the bus.
Yeah,
You know, and
I
he-
don't want to believe it.
You know, so is it truly gone?
Yeah, it is. There are pictures of it.
Yeah, I've seen some rubble.
My challenge is, it is Iyoko.
Yeah.
I've been there a couple of times. They take my mobile phone.
Yes.
Even when I'm going there to work, I need to explain to them that I will need the phone to work before sometimes they allow me to take the phone.
Yeah.
That
It
is
is
a very
Iyoko.
protected facility. So I'm.
So it means that it's inside job.
Inside job.
Yeah. So they shouldn't say.
So the welfare, no, it didn't tax everybody.
That's the point I wanted to make. That it is within. I mean, nobody. You hear me here. People on the
But
street.
I think that whatever be the case, they could have handled it better.
Exactly.
Instead of just you know, pulling destroying it totally. It could have been, if the decision was not to have it there, you just move it and go and hide it somewhere.
Where?
Maybe
Where?
I don't know. Cover it to cloth. You know, one of those things. But you know, to destroy it totally like that is some way. I don't know. Anyway, let me finish with the Daily Graphic newspaper. Daily Graphic front page, still on the front page. President pledges accountability. You know, I nearly said president-elect. So President pledges accountability, economic restoration, and economic restoration. And I'll help House to perform with efficiency and diligence. Speaker Bagbin. And Ghana welcomes first female vice president. Madam Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. Don't change the order of her name for her.
Yeah.
She says she's Nana Jane. You know, we're used to having our English names come first, then our local names come after.
Yeah.
She prefers to have a local name come first.
No.
Then the English name follows. So it is Nana Jane. We beg you, don't go and call her Jane Nana.
Yes.
Don't go and rearrange her name for her. She knows her arrangement.
That's true. That's
So I'm
true.
done with the Daily Graphic newspaper.
I'm just looking at the aircraft in which the Burkina Bay president and then is he a president or military leader?
He's head of state.
Head of state. Okay. I came in and then of course you talk about the tanks coming by road. Yes, of course. And then I think he was well received. Seriously. Now look at
He's a
it.
guard of honor.
Yeah, he was well received.
Everybody.
The guys who change. I think they will change their
Thing
minds.
is, every head of state got that.
Yeah.
You would see the shot of Kagame's one is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I need to go and
you should
take a
check.
look
You
at
should
it.
check it out.
Yeah.
It's very. I think one of the photographers captured it.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the things I actually look forward to after events like these are the photos that would come
Oh,
out.
yes.
You know, some of the angles are breathtaking.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a beauty of it, the colorfulness of it, and everything. And
That's true.
I mean, social media has been, has gone agog, commending the organizers of the event, and a specific name has been, coming up consistently, which is Stan Dobe.
Stan Dobe, yeah.
People commending him for his role in it and everything.
Yeah.
But I think that the event was smooth.
Very.
There wasn't too many. There weren't any hitches. Did you see?
No.
Apart from the so many dignitaries, but at a point they had to cut it short. If it hadn't been that, I think that by within 1 hour 30 minutes they would have been. And they started on time because the advertised time was 11. By 10:55, I think they had kicked things in. And so it was good that they were on time, at least for that. And it is raining as of now. Would consider it as our showers of blessing.
Yes.
As a new as a new administration also begins. They always say that things like these are
Showers of blessing.
showers of blessing, and it's a good omen. So may we pray and hope for the best. And I mean, in times of rain, you need an umbrella.
That's true.
Don't you?
Yes.
So the
Yeah.
umbrella of the umbrella. Hey, umbrella. Let's umbrella. Jesus, it's okay. I'm continuing.
Yes, Robin. So, the heat has been quite overwhelming of late. So it's good that some showers have.
Ibrahim,
Yeah.
I thought I was the.
At the point, I thought I had an issue with my fan. Then I had to put on.
Bro.
The NCG decided to take the light. And then I said, okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I think these days we have become used to not having, reading the papers and talking about all things.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, already talk about
5 hours, 2 hours.
keep the lights on like we did. Look, let's be serious. Let us be serious. Yes, things like these don't develop overnight.
Oh yeah.
So, and you see sycophants just share them. Look, I'm so upset, I'm stammering. Sometimes it happens to me. So let me calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down. Yeah, it's just that
Yeah.
the outgoing energy minister has assumed the reign of opposition spokesperson for the energy sector very quickly and in a very fast manner. And so there's no way you will have the prints of the incoming administration or the new administration on any sector as of yet.
Yeah.
So whatever fuel that we had in stock is the same fuel that we are using to power everything that we are powering.
See, issues with power challenges, they don't develop overnight.
No.
It's over a period of time. And you see, it's for days like yesterday, where Herbert Crapper, the former minister, would have the nerve to write what he wrote and say, keep the lights on like we did. It is for days like that they refused to admit that there was a power challenge. So that they will insist that we didn't have any issues with power. They never wanted to admit that the problem was there because you would pin them to it that you admitted that X and Y. But please let's take us seriously. We know that power challenges don't develop overnight. So if at least it's 3 months, at least if it's 3 months, grace period 3 months, and it's worse, and it means that you too.
Yeah.
I think Professor Jampo has given an advice in that regard that look, there is that temptation that because we are all into politics, the next day start criticizing your successor harshly. But he says they should leave that to civil society for now. The opportunity will present itself because you see, if you do it forcefully, people will begin to doubt you.
Yeah.
Thinking that no, you are just bent on criticizing even without you get it. So I think it's too early. But I'm worried if what we are hearing from I think Jinapo and the other energy guys in the NDC is true, that we have limited fuel, that we may slip back into full-fledged doom. So I think if we need to implement 24-hour economy, one of the most important ingredients will be power.
Speaking of which, Afenyo Marking has his way with mischief. They have to adjourn so that they can start pursuing the 24-hour economy. This guy.
It is past an agenda boy.
But it's one of the beautiful moments, and we were in Parliament.
Yes.
The heat in Parliament where we were.
So really, in Parliament too?
Not in the Parliament, not in the chamber.
The
walkway, the corridor, the lobby.
But that has always been the case.
Yeah, but they usually make provisions. They provide some mobile air conditioners. But this time around,
it was really terrible. Look.
Oh, sorry.
I felt sad for myself.
Yeah.
Oh.
But on the energy sector, two sectors that will define President Mohammed's return: energy, cocoa sector.
Yeah. Hey, why is there a kupuku?
He's your
that guy really understands his
he's your incoming Minister for Food and Agriculture.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm sure he's.
But he does understand his.
Yeah, he does.
Cocoa business.
Yeah. Ahmed Ibrahim is also preparing to be your local government minister.
Ahmed Ibrahim, is it not the
Banda MP?
The Banda MP, the Techiman area.
Yes, the second, the Bono area, the second deputy whip.
Okay.
Yes, and many others. But like I said, of course, these two sectors, especially with the power sector, the debt overhang, Islam, as innovative as it was, has not been able to defray the debt in the sector.
It's not because of the capping.
Yeah, because we cap before we use that collateral to take extend it by 15 years and what have you. And that's why many people argue that sector is better handled by even a finance person than an energy person, because all the problems there are finance. You have the capacity to generate and possibly even export. But if you don't get the finances right, you are in trouble.
That's it. You're in trouble.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm done with the daily graphic.
Kenyan Times, an interesting spread today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is one for the keeps.
Yeah, this one for the keeps. And it says, dawn of new era. More like the return of an era. There is hope on the horizon.
Yeah.
Dear Marshalls, and the horizon is not the one on our network. The horizon is like you are looking at a small hill somewhere, and then there's a small hope there. Once you are able to go to the horizon, you find the hope. Yes. The other headlines here: swearing in ceremony with exceptional grandeur. Hey, interesting. Support president. And then let's talk about the president's outfit.
Yes.
Yes.
It was the first thing that caught my eye when he got out of his vehicle and he was walking. And I know that occasions like these, people like to send, a certain message. And what caught my eye immediately first was the Sankofa.
Yeah, that bed that has bent over backwards.
Yeah, so they say, so I know Sankofa and Chinyami, they say one is Nyamidria.
Namibia.
And then
Yeah, this is Namibia.
or something.
This is Namibia.
And then there's Juniye.
And this is these are all class symbols, by the way.
And then the Kente symbolizes new beginnings.
Yes, so they say.
So
yeah.
And there's a video of him with a designer where he's telling them the size of what he wanted where and stuff like that. So the ends of the inner, the one he's wearing inner, initially was smaller. He said he wanted it to be a little bigger and stuff like that. Yeah.
No, okay. All right.
And it's a Ghanaian
designer.
Yes. Bondana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If one thing, he's noted for one thing, is to give opportunity to locals to usually style him. Remember the
Tony Senya, the horseman shoes.
Yes. The former president Akufo-Addo was doing it until you guys gave him some oversized kaftan.
But the oversized kaftan was only in like his first week or two.
But that's enough discouragement.
You know what somebody said? Somebody said that.
I don't see it.
Oh no, it's not bad. Someone said it's just a lighter note.
Oh, okay.
Someone said 8 years ago, Mama had so many kaftans. He forgot to pack some. At Jubilee, I already had to wear one. So that's what explains the kaftan. So honestly, but I mean, it's just
on the lighter note. Support.
Oh, you thought I was going to say something else?
No, that was only what I knew you were going to say. That was only what I knew you were going to say.
Oh Lord.
Support President Mahama to reset Ghana, Tinubu to Ghanaians. Yes, and 9th Parliament takes off. 275 MPs sworn in. Abdulkumanov results are pending, and I think the EC will have to quickly have an answer to that Abdulkumanov puzzle, and so they can equally have a representation. Okankwi Central people were not happy at all. They said Patrick Buama shouldn't have been allowed to be sworn in. And if okay, so probably they didn't watch GH1. If they did, they would have listened to an engagement we had with Roxy Nelson Dafiamepo, who said that the NDC had everything to lose if he decided to fight in the chamber. And let me tell you what would have happened. And Alfred Markin gave glimpses of what could have been. Filibuster. They will raise issues with every process.
They have little to lose.
You are waiting the swearing of your president.
With heads of states waiting.
Some of them with their jets ready to move immediately afterwards, right? And so something needed to give. So yes, some processes have been served on Parliament. Some were brought to the attention of the clerk. The clerk brought that to the attention, of course, Akotia, for instance, and then told NSC Akumi of the consequences. Still went ahead and then joined in electing the speaker, and he was sworn in. So Roxy Nelson had mentioned that they were not going to litigate on the floor. The processes had been triggered. After the swearing in or the composition of the 9th Parliament, they will take it up. And so I don't understand why the people of Ablekuma, Okankwe Central, will go the route that they went. But
you see, Okankwe Central.
Yeah.
I think there was a problem
Yeah.
from the beginning.
Yeah.
And so eventually there will be some finality soon.
Oh yes.
So the people should calm down.
Yeah.
I think they are overly aggressive.
Yeah.
Relax. Look, John Dumelo came first time and did not win.
Yeah.
He made the first try, did not win.
Yeah.
If it turns out that Sadiq did not win in his first try, the world does not come to an end.
No, he lives to fight another
He
day.
lived to fight, and there was a good showing. Take compensation
yes.
in that. Do you understand?
Yeah.
There's a part of me that feels like this whole thing is being forced, and it doesn't help you either,
Yeah.
because it gives a certain impression about you.
Yeah.
There may be people who actually gave you their votes, but they may reconsider if they see all these things happening.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
please, Sadiq, call your supporters to order.
Yeah.
Let them know that you are in court.
Exactly.
There is a court process going on.
Yeah.
If it ends up in your favor, fantastic.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, it is a contest. There's going to be a winner, there's going to be a loser.
Yeah.
It is not by hook or crook that on your first attempt you must win.
That's true. That's true.
They should be careful what their actions could create for
Absolutely.
the party.
Yeah.
I mean, it could affect the party's image.
Yeah. And talking about image. Oh, so what happened to Atuisian?
Charlie. So, what will I say? You are the
No,
one.
Mutala we don't know. We don't know about the presidency, no.
I know.
If unless he goes to court, Mutala we don't know. But the point I'm making is that, you see, the president cannot be allowed to change his mind like that.
No, is it because of the backlash?
But backlash, what Ali do and his goat? What do you want me to see?
So if you read the letter or the statement or the memo that we
Went to the Council of State.
absolutely, and then the response from the presidency,
Yeah.
they are not denying the fact that
No.
there has been some attempt or some people are going to be
Pardoned.
granted presidential pardon.
Yeah.
What they are saying is that the memo that we have seen is not entirely correct. There are inaccuracies.
In the memo that they wrote themselves.
What we have seen.
How did we come by it?
The one we saw was signed.
So it was signed, but the point that they are trying to make is that
They made mistakes in there.
not giving.
The
Yeah,
green
No,
light.
Mutala, you are not helping. You are not helping. You are not helping Akufo-Addo.
coming, I'm coming.
No, I get you. But before we proceed, no, I get you. Before we proceed, here's the thing. There's a correspondence.
No, maybe at that time, maybe they have not received it
you're
yet.
not
So
getting
just
me.
a letter
From the
first
presidency
to the Council of State. Yes.
The best explanation is that we are not privy to the advice that came from the Council of State. But then the law says the president will grant the pardon in consultation with the Council of State. As we speak, the Council of State stands dissolved. We don't know what they told Akufo-Addo, who is free and who is not free. That's the point we are making.
And I'm saying that their own letter that they brought equally did not help the situation.
Exactly. Then I agree with you.
Yes.
You mentioned in consultation.
No,
Don't forget there's a judgment
Yeah.
when Charlotte was appointed.
Yeah.
And there was a ruling that
Yes.
in consultation doesn't make it mandatory. The
Exactly. The
still go
president.
ahead.
So in essence, the president had taken a decision and decided to inform the Council of State.
And also, okay, are you going to say something
So
else?
that's what the point that I wanted
And-
to clarify.
Still on these things,
Yeah.
the Chief Justice,
Yeah.
the President,
Yeah.
dismissing the petition.
Yeah.
Is that what he's supposed to do?
Yeah. Okay. So it's supposed to be the president. So when
It's a
I
conveyor belt too.
yeah, but this he decided to go to the Council of State. When I spoke to Sam Okujetu Senior, he had mentioned that the council had sat on the matter, and the petition was virtually useless. And I'm paraphrasing it.
Yes.
And that he had advised the president. And I asked him what advice it was, and he said, "Oh, I was evil for asking that question." If you remember.
He gave you an answer before you even.
Exactly, I got the answer. What he said, I think the petition was useless.
It was useless. That's it. You know it's
Exactly. And so, and then I asked, so I was not surprised that the president, his final moment,
Yes.
decided to update us that it's been jettisoned. But you heard the club back from Azar.
He said
In
that-
essence, they will dance it and represent it.
But it is one of the things that we'll discuss.
You know,
before today.
honestly, that's why I was confused, because as far as I know, he's more of a conveyor belt than
Yeah.
and I recall the conversation we had with Dr.
Asari.
Eh?
Ansar-
Yes.
Ansar
You
Sari.
know the Asar Asante and Asar
Yeah,
Sari.
Ansar Sari.
They can sometimes we confuse it.
Yeah.
So we had a conversation about what should happen, and
Yeah.
he said that President Akufo-Addo should not, re-emphasize
Yeah.
or cement
Yeah.
his clearing agent tag
So you should
by
just,
clearing the woman.
just
That
let
he
it
should just let the petition be. I
For
said,
the
will he
incoming
be
administration.
surprised if he did? He says he will be
Yeah.
very surprised
Yeah.
if the president did. And he actually did it on that's the very
Very
last
last-
thing he
yes,
did
yes.
before leaving
That's
office.
dangerous.
Yes. So more or less like a pattern gift to the Chief Justice.
Batinge.
Pattern to the Chief Justice. But still on that way, you see.
If the petition comes again.
Kindly draw close to
No,
my
oh no, we won't be
You are
surprised.
not leaving your living room.
Will you be surprised if the petition
You have
goes
seen
back to
one.
the
You've seen the
president?
petitioner.
The
say
petitioner
that
has already given indication that
Yeah, that's it and raise
that is.
And then there are many people who are also saying that they will prevent persistence. But let's see. You see, we are in for the back and forth and what have you.
Yeah.
Let's see how we are able to navigate this.
And then also, there's so many things that catch people's eye
Yeah.
at events like these.
Yeah.
There's someone who captured a part where Jetro,
Yeah.
the clerk,
Yeah.
was extending a handshake
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
Chief
yeah,
Justice, and she just stood there.
Oh.
But I am thinking perhaps the camera was taken off at a point. Maybe she was. Sometimes you are processing something,
Yeah.
or maybe he.
She didn't see the hand?
I don't know. So I don't want to believe it's a snap.
Chief Justice might not. Are they allowed to handshake people?
No, they are.
He had just shook Mohammed's hand.
No, but a few hours before that, I mean, in Parliament,
Yeah.
they were both laughing
Yeah, so
because
I
ushered,
think that
Gbagbe into swearing.
Yeah.
I saw the CJ
Yeah.
shaking
The
the clerk.
Yes.
class.
So
I
I'm
think
sure
it's-
that-
Maybe the first handshake was okay. Anyway, so whatever you saw, you have seen. Sometimes they might have to be offering explanations for
I'm
some of
telling
these
you.
things.
Yeah.
You saw Alan and Kufo.
The
A
last-
video was taken out of context the last time they met, right? And
Totally.
by the way, did you see Alan there yesterday? I don't
Yes,
know.
he was
Yeah, he
there.
was there. Alan
He was
was
seated
That's what people
next.
are saying that we should have actually watched TV. When we were there,
You
we
don't
just really
see
go
people.
to-
I got that experience from Nelson's inauguration. I
see
attended
the guy.
only for me to come home for my father to tell me the people.
When you are on the ground,
Yeah.
But you were there.
Yeah.
You didn't see the people.
That's the point.
Yeah, we saw all the people who were there. We were sitting in the studio. We saw all the people. Who were
Exactly.
there.
either you are watching it on a
Yeah.
giant screen,
Yeah.
or you sit to your house and rest.
Yeah, did you see Auntie Becky?
Oh
Yes,
yes,
yes.
Becky is
Looking very
unmissable.
nice.
You can't miss her.
And it was interesting. She kept smiling
Yeah.
a lot.
Smiling throughout.
Yeah, she
Dr.
smiled a lot,
Bamia
just
was smiling
like,
throughout.
just like the Chief Justice too. She, and I felt that moment when she swore in
Yeah.
Nana
Nana
J.
J.
Yeah.
When she said congratulations.
Yeah. And
You know,
Sierra is a good hit stuff.
she said that.
Yes, we do see it.
Oh, I didn't hear. I didn't hear it. But then, I just felt the proud moment
Yeah.
for her
Yeah.
as a CJ swearing in,
Another woman.
another woman in
It doesn't come automatic. It's not every CJ that gets the opportunity
Yeah.
to swear
Swear,
president.
yes.
in.
Yeah. Yeah.
What'd you say?
Oh, they've been sworn in by other people.
No, I mean, no. It's not every CJ
Ah, yeah,
that.
yeah,
Kufo was a CJ, but she never got the
Any
opportunity.
Yeboah
So,
never
Yeah.
got the opportunity.
Yeah.
Any
any year
Yeboah-
ago.
Any of Akufo-Addo. But it covered dim that light.
So it is not every CJ that gets that opportunity.
Yeah.
Georgina Wood did.
Yeah, and
Georgina
it's not
would be.
it's not
Yeah.
every president who gets
So
the
Georgina
opportunity
Wood.
3 times.
Yeah. Bamfordado didn't.
Yeah.
Georgina Wood
But-
she did for Kufo.
Bamfordado did for Kufo in. No.
No.
Bamfordado.
Georgina
declared
was first was
2016.
Mills.
Bamfordado as a speaker. Oh.
Relax.
Bamfordado as a speaker. I'm talking about speaker.
I'm talking about Georgina Wood.
Yeah.
Talking
no.
about CJ.
George Nawood was appointed in the second term of Kufo. So obviously, the first story will be Mills.
Yeah, so she
then
did for
second,
Mills and
Mahama Kufo.
Okay.
Nanado.
Mama
Nanado.
Kufo.
Mama Nanado.
Nanado came and
Mama
then.
nie.
Yeah.
John Mama nie.
But this
You
20.
expect us to remember what to say.
No mote nie.
Ah, that one. See, in Parliament, something happened that probably we didn't pay attention during the president's final sooner.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
He said something, and then they said,
Mr. Lumo.
"One can you cry?" Oh, the speaker even came to say that. Oh no, that was not the proper rendition. The rendition is that, "Man, can you cry?"
I missed that one.
Yeah.
Speaker has a way I'm using mocking loosely of mocking people. Even yesterday when he mentioned Dr. Mahmoud Mao,
He paused. He paused and he laughed. And when he was acknowledging the former vice president, he paused. He said, "Hi, Dr. Mahmoud." Then he paused.
Yeah.
Then he laughed.
Yeah.
Before he mentioned the Bawia.
What a big guy.
Yeah.
A big guy.
Speaker.
I think
Speaker Loki is a troll. Loki.
there was this
is a
other part.
As in social media true, not the animal.
troll. I say like he's a troll.
And then there was this other part where I don't know, I didn't hear it, but someone said the speaker, the president, the former president told the speaker that, I mean, twice in a row, speaker, and then he says, yes, in my kingdom. You know, he's been accused of
Yeah.
I mean,
You know, but this whole, you know, election and everything that has come with it has been history after history after. A lot of historic things have happened.
Yes.
A lot of things have happened that we have not seen or witnessed before under this Fourth Republic. Right from Parliament to the presidency, we've not seen it before. You know, even to the judiciary.
Oh, yes.
You know, in some aspects, we've not seen it before. You know, from having the first speaker to serve as speaker while his party is in opposition. You know, to now serve while his party is back in power. You know, to
Mohammed's comeback.
to have lost an election.
To have lost an election 8 years ago and come back after 8 years, that is historic. To the numbers that we are seeing in Parliament in terms of the majority for one, you know, particular party, that's overwhelming, you know. And to Nana Jane, obviously, which for me is the biggest, you know, the very first woman vice president. It's been history after history after history, and it's some are even saying that, you know, John Mahama's speech was historic. Because of the way he delivered it, right? For the very first time.
The teleprompter?
Yeah, the teleprompter.
I don't know.
There was a teleprompter.
Sorry to cut you. I don't know why people were shocked.
Yeah,
No,
but
the guy was the president, he was
using
using
the
it.
teleprompter in all of his engagements when he was in opposition. In the campaign.
Yeah, he
he's
was.
been using it.
So wait, is it? Oh please. Oh my name. How is this even? So I saw people raving about it on social media, saying that
Yes, extempore.
is it reading extempore? Oh,
No,
this
it's
is
not.
a
Those
new-
who didn't know.
But
Those who didn't
credit
know.
also
But credit
to
to Starr.
Mahama. There are people too, when they use teleprompter, you could tell.
It's so visible that it's a
So credit to him as well.
No, but he's, I
He did
mean,
it
Mahama is a good
effortlessly.
orator, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he always knows. And he was even using the hand gestures just to really bring out, you know, the speech to, not to make it look as if I'm just reading. But this
He
is something
needed
that
to
I'm actually
communicate.
telling you people. And people are even saying that, you know, the things he said, some of the things he said in the speech when he was reminiscing about how he and President Akufo-Addo entered Parliament at the same time. That President Akufo-Addo is the only person who can call him, or who used to call him Johnny, you know, among other things. And I saw a few people saying that when he was saying that President Akufo-Addo wasn't smiling.
I spoke about. I think the president was looking, but he wasn't hearing. There are moments like that.
Okay.
And we just saying that the Chief Justice had been frowning, and you see, moods, things, times,
Yesterday there was an
that.
incident in the newsroom, and somebody just tapped me, and the person was speechless, just pointing at the CJ smiling.
I see that. And I think I've never seen a Chief Justice smile before.
Why
are you people like that?
People were they were speechless.
But the woman smiles every day in court. Yes.
Why are you saying it with a smile? Anyway, Daily Statesman newspaper, I think that's the only newspaper I'll have the opportunity to do because of time.
No, we do everything.
Why destroy everything?
I thought
if you don't want that, I'll give it to you.
let me do the Daily Statesman.
Oh, no, but I was not having a Ghanaian time, so the final one.
Okay. Emmanuel is laughing.
Unbelievable.
Okay, I was not.
All right, Daily Statesman, Akufo-Addo leaves Mahama with 8 billion reserves. Details on page 2. Also, more jobs under 24-hour economy. Mahama assures in inaugural speech. I sack myself story being here. NCA boss proceeds on terminal leave. Details on page 3.
Respect to Duanoche, to be honest.
Proceed on leave.
Nobody has sent him.
He has proceeded on leave.
On his own. Because, you see, it's bound to be acrimonious. Don't let it be.
So the CEOs of the SOEs, they are still in.
Some are saying that there's a judgment. You see, that judgment from the Supreme Court is moot.
So they are still there. So Kofi Juma, Nana Kumi, all of them, they will still stay there.
Why are you even asking me?
When you are saying that, they are not back as a judgment, and they don't give. No, so they actually want to stay.
Of course, some want to stay.
Kofi Juma want to stay.
Don't be mentioning names. You give the
party people the opportunity to go after people.
Kofi Grant will want to stay at GIPC. Ghana guys.
The BOG governor
has said that as long as he's there.
Gentlemen, it's not a marketplace.
This one is a market square.
No, I'm just
so Lantam, make your point, and then the rest of
the point I'm trying to make, I'm asking a question, so the CEOs of the SOEs, there is a judgment that once they are appointed CEO of an SOE, they stay there until what happens. So now that there's a new regime, that convention that everybody should proceed on leave has come to an end.
Let's see how
so
it
they
unfolds.
will stay.
Let's see how it unfolds.
All right. Slate increases monthly in indexation by 12%. I'm done.
All right. It's your turn.
Herald newspaper. John Mahama strikes peaceful tone towards ex-president Akufo-Addo. Kwesi Pratt condemns Akufo-Addo over Shawari Republic. Or is it Saharawi Republic? Am I pronouncing the word right?
I do not know the word.
It is spelled
Saharawi Republic.
Saharawi.
You know them?
Saharawi.
Saharawi Republic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Morocco.
Herbert Kwapa. Herbert Kwapa clashes with John Jinapo as WAPCO maintenance parks Dumsofia. Iyoko boss statue vandalized at headquarters. Oh, really? 2S statue has been vandalized at the Iyoko headquarters. You remember that this statue was pretty controversial. When it was put up. The staff of Iyoko decided that they were going to do this in her honor because they believe that she's a good boss. And there was a lot of backlash on social media. Right? We are being told by the Herald that the statue has been vandalized. At the headquarters. But how can somebody go to Iyoko headquarters and go and vandalize the statue?
It's a bust, right?
Yeah, it's a bust.
That's the point where we're asking the same questions here. It could be internal, but you see,
it can only be internal.
That's very unfortunate.
Iyoko office.
The woman was hailed. By the very workers, and they erected this to her surprise. She didn't even know.
She didn't.
She woke up one day and then it's there, and then she was even driven to tears. And then
she wakes up one day and it's not there.
Can you imagine what is that?
I wake up one day, it is there. I wake up another day.
You are not giving the woman hope. What is that?
They should keep on keeping on.
But when you speak to people at Iyoko, when you speak to people,
you've been speaking to them.
Some of the staff. When you speak to some of the staff at Iyoko, they actually really love this woman.
That one is true.
They believe that
one is very true.
The thing is that
they believe that she's a very good girl. They love her.
She has actually changed many of them,
their fortunes.
Because some of them, they were on paltry salaries. And under her tenure, she has overseen that there is a review.
She's very interested in their staff welfare.
Yes, people have gone thousands and thousands of CDs up. That's why they call her Obatampa. It's not for nothing that they call her Obatampa.
They love the woman.
You see, the thing is that there are always two sides to a person. Ibrahim will be here. My experience with Ibrahim is fantastic.
Very.
I didn't.
But isn't that obvious?
Allow the girl to talk.
My experience with Ibrahim is fantastic. So anybody who asks me about Ibrahim, I'll tell them what I have experienced. There may be some other person who has not had a good experience with Ibrahim. Oh, please. or sometimes the person just caught Ibrahim at such a bad time and got to experience a certain side of him that, he feels that Ibrahim is a mean person.
I knows that he owes me some dollars, so that's why I'm coming.
So that person will think that Ibrahim. So there are people who have experienced Tiwa in that aspect, or they feel that maybe in her area of work, especially when it comes to the Takrady girls.
The Takrady girls. I mean,
she
that's
cover
where
herself
it really,
in glory.
that's where it really was.
As IB talks about, the person didn't cover herself in glory. So that is it. But then again, that these other people have experienced her in a different way, and they see her as a mother, and so that's what it's all about.
Yeah, they love her. So, NCA Director General Joan Oche sacks himself. Iyoko probes Minerals Commission over Prestia Bogoso mine acquisition. It will be interesting to see how these CEOs of the state-owned enterprises, would operate. I'm very, very curious to see how it's all going to play out. Very, very curious, But anyway, that's it for the Herald newspaper.
All right, the New Crusading Guide newspaper, front page. New dawn for Ghana as President Mahama swears in. Swears in, is that it's sworn in or swears in?
It's sworn in.
Promising to focus on 4 critical areas, 26 actions in 120 days. And also, my dear brother, I am here to walk with you. Nigeria's Tinubu supports President Mahama. An armed assailant threatened former Transport Minister Kweku Ofori Isiama. And NDC presses violence button as Abeka residents burn tires over Baba Sadiq. That's it for the New Crusading Guide.
The Chronicle this morning. John the Fourth in the driving seat. World leaders congratulate him.
John the Fourth.
John the Fourth, yeah.
So in 2016, it was John 3:16.
Yeah, and
so
there
this
was
one
a
is John
truncation.
what?
There was a truncation of the reign of the Johns in 2016. So he's just come back to move just one number up, 4.
Okay.
So this is the 4th John.
The 4th John.
Yeah, there was no 3rd John. Right, 3rd John couldn't continue, so hesitated, and then of course, so 4th John.
So when we talk about his achievements in his first days, you say John chapter 1,
versus
then John chapter 2 will be his second coming.
That's true.
So this is John chapter 4.
So now we are in John chapter 2.
Oh, this is John.
That's the
chapter
last.
Yeah.
That's the last chapter.
That's the last chapter.
He can't extend.
Oh,
it.
this is John chapter 3.
No, 2.
3.
Okay, if you talk about
You added the 6 months.
Yes.
no, don't add it.
Don't add it.
Why should I add it? Isn't it a term he said?
No.
He's entitled to 2 terms. He's
Yeah.
serving his second term.
Yeah.
So
Yes, but he finished someone else's term.
no, but you're not being factual anyway.
Yes.
How am I not being factual? He finished someone else's term. How's
So
that not?
that doesn't mean that his
You are right. You are right.
No, I'm telling you, like that.
It is fact.
Like
Okay,
that.
but you are right.
If you make that his term, then it means that he's not
I said
eligible.
he finished. You didn't hear what I said.
No, I get
He
that.
finished someone else's term.
So we cannot add that
But
to
you
his
can't add
terms.
it to his term. That's the
Yeah,
point
that
I'm
would-
making.
nobody can say
As
3
in his
terms.
own term.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
Gentlemen.
but I said he finished someone else's.
Oh no, we agree. That we agree.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are you happy now?
No.
Finish. Right.
So Togbe Bagwin maintains number 3.
Togbi, what is Togbi? Togbi.
What they have written here is Togbe.
Togbi.
The Togbe spelling Anu is supposed to
No,
be
by
Togbe.
the pronunciation, they don't have their own pronunciation. The
Why
Chronicle.
am I even challenging you?
Togbi.
Why am I even challenging you? See, it's befuddling that I'm challenging.
Unbelievable.
I'm challenging
I'm
you.
saying it's Togbi as a Chronicle, so I've never seen an ever say Togbi before.
Mano Kokotia. Togbe.
Yeah, Togbi.
I even like it. I didn't to pay on you.
But maybe it has delayed.
That's a good one.
It's on the way. It's on the way.
Mahama tells Akufo-Addo, you have been
It has
a
now reached their
worthy-
flower border. It's coming.
Yeah, you have been a worthy opponent.
Go back to jail today.
Yeah, someone know. Hey.
So the quotation for this morning, 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come.
Fantastic. It's a mark of a new beginning.
He is a
They
mark
should
of a
have
new
put
beginning.
Amakofi Boy's quotation there.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
The second, the outgone first lady. Oh, Nana Kunu my Rollins. I didn't expect her to be there. To be honest, that would be to me, but she was there. It means that she was not just attending Akufo-Addo ceremonies because she just wanted to go and dance with the former president, but she was performing her role as the pioneer.
The pioneer first lady of the Fourth Republic.
Exactly. You young pioneers, you remember? If
Pioneer aluminum paint.
All right, Daily Dispatch newspaper. Mahama, Ghana's 6th president in the 4th Republic. Details on page 2. Also, your early concession eased tension in Ghana. Mahama praises Bawumia. And Napo, NPP lost 2024 elections due to internal party conflicts. And Julius Debra, Mahama's chief of staff, outlines key factors for appointment into Mahama's government.
All right, the final newspaper I have here, the News Center. Mahama begins second term and also promises to restore stability. It says here, hypocrisy, voices silenced during campaign, now urging President Mahama not to scrap taxes. And State announces 12% increase in monthly pensions for 2025, and NDC and NPP retain leadership in Parliament. So I'm told that for the majority side is temporal, and the substantive one will come in due course, right?
most definitely.
Okay.
Daily Post. pictures here of the presidential inauguration. Mahama sworn into office as Ghana's 9th president.
Hey, is it 9th or 6th?
It's supposed to be certificate. You limit yourself to the 4th Republic.
Yes.
But if you go from Nkrumah all the way, yes.
It's 14th.
It's 14th. Yeah, so then right from the 9th.
Just
okay, maybe. Yeah.
Sometimes some of these things, just keep it at the 4th Republic.
Exactly.
It makes it easier for you.
Very. Very. Well, Professor Nana Jane as his vice. NDC Gadango Caucus congratulates President John Mahama. From today, many more of such stories will come. Yeah.
All right. Can you take it to starfm.com.gh, Lantam?
Yeah, we'll check out the stories that are making the headlines on our website this morning, starfm.com.gh. When you log on to our website, you see the first story: election disputes, institutional decay will be healed. That's according to Edward Omane Boama. Don't forget the strides Ghana and Nigeria have made. Tinubu to critics. I'll be leader with your cooperation and help. That's according to John Dramani Mahama. I'll be decisive and swift in my actions. Also according to John Dramani Mahama. Don't fear oral if you haven't stolen a black one to Afenyomaki. Remember that Alexander Kwabena Afenyomaki on the floor of Parliament before the 8th Parliament ended was saying that he doesn't agree with the oral. Because he believes that it's going to be used as a tool for vindictiveness,
and
right?
Witch hunting.
And witch hunting. And you could see Okujeto Ablakwa in Parliament laughing when Afenyumake was making that comment.
So I put that question to him and he said, why are you running? I think we should have just played that. Why are you running?
Why are you running? Why are you running?
And then he just said that the minority leader has nothing to fear.
Yeah.
He has nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
The committee will not engage in vendetta. Witch hunting, but of course, like Nas said in subsequent engagement, sometimes others will say that if they are witches, then they must be hunted, right?
Well,
unless you want to live with the witches.
Marietta Burapia also reiterated this at the inauguration yesterday, saying that, look, I mean, they are not there to witch hunt anybody. They are only there to investigate alleged cases of corruption. And if there is any sufficient evidence that is found against such people, they will proceed to court and they will deal with the matters in court and allow the courts to decide. It's as simple as that, really, isn't it? So NDC will rescue Ghana from crisis again. That's according to Dr. Otokono. So we will lift our people out of poverty. Tinubu to Mahama. So these are the stories that you'll find on starfm.com.gh. There are many other stories.
All right, let me give you the information. Dooms or dooms, Mahama's government must act swiftly. That's according to the Institute for Energy Security. And keep the lights on. You are in charge now. Krapa. Overwhelming NDC majority poses a challenge to Parliament. Bagwin. Dooms or Jenapo wants a power crisis due to fuel shortage. And Tiwa Adodankwes statue vandalized at Yoko headquarters. Ghana is open for business again, Mahama tells business community. Why was Ghana ever closed to business? Tinubu, Mahama's administration will bring positive change. That's a prayer from Tinubu, I'm sure. We will create decent, well-paying jobs for Ghana's youth. Mahama, your early concession ease tensions. Mahama applauds Baumia. You have been a worthy opponent. Mahama tells Akufo-Addo. That is it. And finally, this morning I've not used the road in front of the former president's house. But my hope and prayer is that
you give us access now.
They will, no, in fact, for the sake of the residents there, you know, there's a neighbor, a direct neighbor to the president, a woman.
Yeah.
For our life there at the Meridian House, she was never a happy woman.
She always has to go and use the back to come to her house when she can't just pass.
You could tell that that woman was never a happy woman. At least there should be a thoroughfare now in front of the president's Nima residence. It's critical. If people have not addressed their minds to this, I tell you that this will be a salvation to many of the people who use that, including Maslot Hotel.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's a plea.
All right. That should be it for the newspaper review segment. We'll go for a break. When we return, we'll be analyzing some aspects of the address yesterday and also happenings as well, especially issues relating to security. And I'll also touch base with our legal affairs correspondent who is sporting a new hairdo. And I will tell you more about the hairdo when we return from the break. It's the Morning Star here on Star 103.3 FM. When I talked about the hairdo, he just managed to put a smile, rich people smile. I will be right back.
Let's have breakfast on the Morning Star. This is Star 103.5.